Hi, welcome to this episode of Somersworthnow.com. Today I'm going to take you for a walk down Main Street. The reason I'm doing this is because we have a charrette coming up in the city pretty soon. It is September the 22nd. There will be two public sessions, one at 3:30 till 5 and one at 6:30 till 8. You're all invited, anyone can come. So I wanted to just take you down and look at the area that they're actually going to be concentrating on. This is part of that area. I'm at the very beginning of Main Street. There's the old Cafe 319 and obviously there's the Iron Horse pub downstairs. There's a Market Street dress shop, the yellow building, 45 Market Street. And what you see now is what is known as SS Somersworth. It's a small park, and behind that, I don't know if you can see the retaining wall, some of you will know that there's an old BP station down there. Walk down this way and we move towards the old police station that nobody really seems to know what to do with. So if you've got any ideas, please let us know. We would love to know. I would love to know what you would like to see us do with this building. Across the street we have Rolo's, the mills behind, obviously the historic mills, the historic train station. I'm not sure what this building used to be, I couldn't tell you. We're back to the police station. We're coming up on what is now 4th Street. No, it's not. It used to be 4th Street. It's now Station Street, which leads upwards. Off of there, I'm going to go across the zebra crossing. The one thing that I wanted to point out was that there is no zebra crossing, oh sorry, pelican crossing, what do you call them? Crosswalk. I'm only walking across one right now. There is no crosswalk down Main Street until you get right to the top where it meets Market. And that can be a problem, I know, because I walk it all the time. So we're going to come back down. We have the Somersworth Public Library, which, as we know, if you didn't know, was built in 1965. It's an interesting building. Some nice landscaping out here that I know Public Works have worked really hard on. So I'm going to try and walk a little bit further, a little bit faster, because we're actually getting to the main focus in a few minutes of the charrette itself. As you can see at the back, there's the post office, and there's a nice little area here that a lot of people don't know about. Sometimes I'll come and sit down here and write. This is the old Bank of America building, which I really miss. I really wish they hadn't taken out the ATM, but that's the way it is. Now I have to go all the way to Weeks Crossing, but that's just life. As you can see, this is for sale. Personally, I would say it would make a really nice community centre. I don't know the specifics, but that's just me. I'm just throwing out suggestions as I'm walking, because I think that's a good idea. Obviously the sidewalk's been done here as part of the downtown revitalisation. Now we're getting to the real crux of the matter, I guess you could say. This side of the street, some of you may not know, there is about I think there's 70 parking spots down here. I'm not entirely sure, but they're the vertical kind, the one that everybody bemoans that we lost downtown. Moves on to a Clara, which used to be the old GE building on that side of the road. On this side of the road, we have the wonderful Somersworth Plaza. This is the actual real focus, going to be the real focus of the charrette, which is a good idea. And the city really wants your input in what you want to see here. They're actually having Plan New Hampshire down. I'm not sure how it's going to be run, whether it's going to be mediated, what they're going to do with it. But as you can see, we have an empty building. I don't know if you can see that, but we have an empty building at the clock tower that used to be Care Pharmacy. We have the main street laundromat, the Happy Chinese restaurant, the liquor store, which if you've been following, we have a new liquor store being built We have the Eagles, Grateful's Cleaners, which is no longer there, Toys in the Attic, and at the very end is Lucky's Supermarket. Apart from that, we have a lot of parking space, because when this was done in 1965, I apologise, I believe it was 63, 65, as part of urban renewal, the car was the way to go. Now we seem to be thinking in different terms. Just pan out and give you one more view of downtown, of the plaza itself, and how much parking space there actually is down here. I often park down here myself, it's easier. And then, as you can see, we are at the Somersworth Plaza. The letter, it says we are, so we are. Then we have the Wentworth House, part of Wentworth House, their family practice, which is relatively new. I think it's been there 10 or 11 years. Nice building, nicely maintained. Kind of fits in with the rest of the aesthetics, but sidewalks do need upgrading. I would say my personal preference would be to upgrade the sidewalks. As I say, I'm just really throwing out ideas here, so that, because we want as much of your input as you can give, because if you don't tell the city during these charrettes what you want, or the people that are coming from Plan New Hampshire, and these are architects, city planners, a whole variety of different professions, then unfortunately what happens is that your ideas get missed, because you never came and you never told the city what you wanted to see. So you really need to, if you can, come on down. It's a Friday evening, and then on a Saturday at 3 PM at the CTC. This all takes place in the CTC, Career Technical Centre. Just gonna watch where I'm walking, because I really don't want to get run over tonight, if you don't mind. Now we're going across the main street. We have the older buildings down here. Some of these have been classed as historic, others would disagree. I choose not to take a stance on this one, because it's so much easier. We have apartments at the top. We have basically disused businesses at the bottom. We're just going to walk along, see what we can see. Obviously, at one point, these were thriving businesses. We had 3,000 people employed by GE, etc., etc. Obviously, things have changed. Aclara still does do that, but not to the extent that it did. And we're almost at the end of our walk. Or the end of the target zone. This is more of an aside. The main target is the Somersworth Plaza. As you can see, the sidewalks down here really do need some work. They're pretty bad in places. And so here we have a barber shop that's still being used, and Two Brother Subs, which is an institution in Somersworth, let's say. But will very soon, they will be retiring at the end of the year, I'm told, so that will be no more either. Which is sad, because it will be the end of an era, but I understand that people need to retire once in a blue moon, including me. So now we're coming up, some of you may have heard that Mayor Hilliard wants to do Stein Park. That's one of his goals that he'd like to see, is Stein Park used as a meeting place, a central meeting place, after you've had some, can I put this, revitalisation and some serious landscaping done. He's put a call out for local businesses to help with that. We have a parking lot here, and at the back is, no, that's not the hotel, sorry. The hotel's further along there, that you may have heard has just been revitalised. And there's Stein Park, and that white building in the background that used to be City Hall. up until the year 2000 is now the Somersworth Historic Museum, which is my home from home every Sunday afternoon. If you follow this blog, you'll know that. And that's basically at the end of this road is where this charrette will stop focusing on. So what I'm asking you, Somersworth, is what exactly do you want to see down here? I hear various things. Put it out there, leave a comment. Please keep them respectful. Please don't be too negative. We want good ideas that, you know, we can just build upon. But there you go, that's my walk down Main Street, or half of it anyway. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I'll see you on Friday the 22nd of September, either 3:30 or 6:30. Look forward to seeing you. Until then, have a great night. Bye now.